Heritage Sports. This is going to be a great episode. We're going to be talking about the backlash that Deion Sanders is getting for his Rich Eisen interview. Now, the interview itself took place maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more, but people are starting to digest the clips and it's making the rounds on the internet. So, a lot of people have been weighing in on social media on the interview and what he particularly said. Now I can't show you the video. The Roku channel be tripping. I ain't trying to had no like copyright strikes, but you can see the stills and you could probably find it really easily. So the clip in particular that people are getting upset about, not only the haters, the people, the detractors that didn't like him in the first place, but people from ESPN such as Marcus Spears, who quote says this shit ain't funny. He also has some more comments about, the people that were laughing in the clip, saying I'm sure they were laughing with him, but this still ain't cool. And essentially breaking down what he believes the comments to be. So, what are the comments? All right, let me talk to you about it right now. So, they asked Deion, Coach Prime, what kind of athlete when he's recruiting, what is he looking for? So he goes into quarterbacks and how he likes quarterbacks to come from a two-parent household, to always make good decisions because they want that person to be stable. They want that person to be level-headed and to understand some kind of responsibility because they have a two-parent household and is well behaved, and they don't want that person to be in trouble, period. Okay, I got that part. They're essentially saying that the quarterback's going to be the leader of the offense and more than likely going to be the leader of a team if that person's starting and behind center. Okay, they need to be looked at as a leader. They need to have leadership qualities. So the flip part of that, he just mentioned defensive linemen and how the way he recruits is completely different. He was not joking when he said this. People were laughing, but Coach Prime said he is looking for defensive linemen that come from single parent homes. Only got mama, and they are hungry to not only do well, they're hungry to do more for their family. They have a innate responsibility or drive within in them because they know they got to help out their people, right? So obviously there's a lot of indicators in that and a lot of social economic barriers or conditions, whatever you want to call it, when you think about that. And let's just be real. You want to talk about single parents, you want to talk about the majority of people that play football, especially at Power 5, you're going to run into black kids. And that's just real. Lower income black kids that want to make a way up out of the hood. I mean, it is what it is. It's real shit. So I came from the hood. I came from a two-parent household, but I I can understand that thought process of no, I gotta make it out this shit. This is crazy. I'm tired of seeing this every single day, and I need to make sure I get my parents out of here or my mama out of here or whatever the case may be. So the backlash that he's getting from people online, especially Marcus Spears, is it's tropes, it's racism. It's like, no, bro, you are not only saying the quiet part out loud, which is something I want to get into. He is furthering racial stereotypes that he's using to recruit. And he may not be the only coach that recruits that way, but he's the only coach that had a set voice to it. And now it's becoming a bit of a firestorm. So I want to make sure I got my thought process right on this. So believe number one, whether you agree with him or not, that's what they're doing in recruiting. All right. Whether he said the quiet part out loud, whatever, that's what they're doing. That's the MO. They want people who are hungry to perform. I think the flip side of that is you want kids in that scenario that are going to listen to you no matter what happens, and they can't go anywhere, and that's kind of an effed up situation. They don't want to go hit the transfer portal. They're going to get up early because they're worried about if they get dismissed, what are going to be their next steps, and that's no way to live. That's no way to try to have an extra manipulation over a kid. That's the implication. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but I'm saying that's the implication, and I can definitely see a coach using that to their advantage. Now, here's the thing I want to say to be fair to Coach Prime on this. He comes from that. He came from that. He came from a single parent household where his mom worked all these jobs to make a way out of no way. His parents weren't together. So it was his big drive and his motivation to get his mom out of working every day and to never have to worry about the bills anymore. He's talked about that extensively. So in a sense, he's just articulating what he wants to see in defensive kids. He wants to see himself. And I think that's the context that people are missing. He's looking for himself. People who are going to get up early, who really want it, and who really going to do right by their opportunity and maximize their opportunity, even if that's not going to the NFL. I'm going to maximize getting my education because I may not be able to play in the NFL or the CFL. I need to make sure I put myself in a position to go to grad school or make connections with people on the team that I can go further with. You know, they had the Under Armour CEO come in while at Jackson State. And the biggest thing he talked about was the reason why he built one of the reasons how he built a multi-billion-dollar corporation, public company that you could buy on the stock market. He used his connections, he used his resources from actually playing with people on the team, whether he was and he mentioned Eddie George, he mentioned some other folks, and he was able to leverage those connections to get where Under Armour is today. So even if you don't have those kind of kids that are NFL kids, even though you may recruit them, that doesn't mean they're going to make it there. So he wants kids to put themselves in a position where they can take care of their family and go into the corporate world. I completely say that, completely understand that. And I don't think that was articulated by Coach Prime in that clip because they didn't ask that. They were just trying to do these one-hitter questions. And I mean, the interview was, I don't know how long the interview was, but it wasn't a podcast where he's just there for an hour, 2 hours where he can expound on his answers. That sound clip sounds bad. And I get how it sounds bad to people, but you have to understand the context in it. And that's what I think people are missing. Yeah, it sucks that he said it like that. Yeah, it sucks that our kids, our black kids, are being looked at upon that and saying, okay, I need a defensive lineman like this. Because in his scenario, if a defensive lineman comes from a good home with a two-parent household with a family system, never got in trouble, he may not want that kid. I mean, that's fair. Like, look, bro, you don't want the kid that's doing well in school, that has a stable home, and you can't talk to that person any kind of way because they'll hit the transfer portal or they'll go and do something else. Because that's the implication, and that's essentially what, if somebody said that, I'll be like, yeah, you're right. So again, I see both sides on it. I think there's context missing on Coach Prime's part, and I think there's context missing on the people that are bashing him, including Marcus Spears. Marcus Spears is from Baton Rouge, a standout LSU. Well, let me back up. A standout Baton Rouge high school athlete. He's a legend there, whether it's football and basketball. He put a lot of work in. I don't know his family situation, but I'm pretty sure he came from a stable household, was able to go to LSU down the street, and then, had a decent career with the Dallas Cowboys. So for him, it's a little bit more personal because he's a defensive lineman. He's like, bro, I don't think you need to be trying to prey on a specific type of kid like that. So I can understand that and respect what he's saying. So it's a little bit more personal to him. Now the other ones, the trolls, the haters, people who ain't never played football in their life, people who never played with athletes, they just want to pile on and say, yeah, look at this. This is another misstep. This is terrible. Why is he saying all this? Why is he preying on kids and things of that nature? So I can't wait till the spring happens. I can't wait till football happens because I'm tired of everyone hanging on each and every single word trying to figure out, is this going to be something that can stain Coach Prime instead of just letting him do what he wants to do. And just on Coach Prime's part, you don't have to tell people what you recruit. I mean, I understand you on these shows and so many people are pulling at you because they know you, they have connections with you, but you don't need to be on every show telling people how you recruit. That's just my personal standpoint, and that's where I view this on my spectrum as far as what's being said and what's being articulated. Context, being fair, seeing both sides. Heritage Sports.